All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to talk about just a small rumor, a small list of players that the Jets supposedly have interest in as free agency looms. Okay, it's quickly approaching, as we all know. The Jets have a lot of money in cap space, and we also have a lot of needs. So this list was compiled by U Stadium, and I'll leave their link down below in the description box so you can go check them out. But I got the list right here. Let's talk about some of these names. So starting off on defense, we have Saints safety Marcus Williams, Patriots cornerback J.C. Jackson, defensive lineman D.J. Jones from the 49ers, defensive lineman from the Chargers Uchenna Nwosu, and then flipping over to offense, we have center Brandon Scherf from the Commanders, center from the Bucks Ryan Jensen, guard from the Niners Laken Tomlinson, guard from the Chicago Bears James Daniels, and tight end Zach Ertz. Now, a couple things jump right off the page at me, okay? Just instant reaction here. Number one, literally every single player on this list, both offensively and defensively, maybe not the defensive lineman, but every other name here is an instant day one upgrade over what we currently have. And the reason why I'm a little hesitant with the defensive lineman, maybe they're better scheme fits, but this is under the assumption that the Jets let Foley go, right? Fadakasi. If he's on the open market, the Jets don't bring him back. The supposed asking price is $10 million a year. There's also been some scheme question marks, but hey, I love Fadakasi. I thought he did a great job, specifically against the run last year. I mean, this guy just clogs holes. So much fun to watch. And by the way, he's still an ascending player. He's not peaked, I don't think. But assuming Fadakasi's gone, I think everybody here would be a day one upgrade, all right? Especially at safety and corner. I mean, man, Marcus Williams is one of the best safeties in all of football. Same with J.C. Jackson, okay? Tight end with Zach Ertz, obviously, okay? Now, the second thing that jumps out, outside of J.C. Jackson and Marcus Williams, and maybe even Brandon Scherf to a certain degree, it's not just a star-studded list. It's, you know, you see guys like Laken Tomlinson in there. You see like Zach Ertz. These guys aren't going to be commanding $19 million a season or anything like that. It's not, you know, Allen Robinson, Odell Beckham. It's not the big names that are just compiling with this list. It's a nice mix of veteran players and younger players, offensive players, defensive players, guys that are really solid scheme fits. And even an underrated one with DJ Jones from San Francisco. I mean, this is a guy that Saleh actually drafted a couple years ago. Okay, so not only is it just a scheme fit, but he knows the scheme and he knows Robert Saleh. Okay, so I think a lot of these make sense. I wouldn't be, you know, irritated or frustrated or, you know, totally ticked off if the Jets brought, you know, any of these guys in. I think all of these guys are upgrades. And the third point, wide receiver. We didn't talk about one. Okay, now it was also included in the report that the Jets reached out about Calvin Ridley with the Atlanta Falcons, and then of course Amari Cooper with the Dallas Cowboys. But I feel like every team that needs a wide receiver probably reached out to the Falcons for Ridley and probably reached out to the Cowboys for Amari Cooper. And yesterday the trade market really started to heat up for Amari. I mean, we knew teams like the Jets, Eagles, Patriots, Ravens, Dolphins. I mean, we know those teams were going to be interested, but the name I kept seeing, or the team I kept seeing pop up yesterday, was the Cleveland Browns. So interesting situation to kind of watch there with Amari Cooper, $20 million cap hit this season. But what about the other wide receivers, the guys that are expected to hit the open market? So no Devontae Adams, no Mike Williams, right, signing that extension. And by the way, Calvin Ridley off the table. But what about Christian Kirk? What about Juju Smith, DJ Chark, Sammy Watkins, Will Fuller? I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that the Jets, you know, need to be targeting all these guys or anything like that, or I want all of these guys on the team, but there's a lot of talent out there at wide receiver. And it's interesting that, you know, according to this list here, there aren't any available free agents on here. It's mostly looking like the trenches, right? Building up the offensive line and the defensive line with a couple of really talented defensive backs. And of course, Zach Ertz is in there as well. So interesting little list here. Obviously, these are all just rumors at the end of the day. We don't know what's exactly going to happen. We don't know which teams are going to be highly aggressive. I mean, we've heard that the Jets are going to be aggressive, but we heard the same thing last year. Okay, that the Jets were going to be going all out. They're really going to be trying to, add some serious talent to this team pertaining towards free agency. And, don't get me wrong, we did. I feel like we added, guys like Carl Lawson and Corey Davis, guys that, came in and at the time were huge upgrades, but we just never really got to reap the rewards of those free agency signings because of injuries. Even guys like LaMarcus Joyner, who we brought back, some of our draft picks. I mean, it was tough with the injury bug. But anyway, rambling at this point. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Just rumors at the end of the day. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.